Somebody make a class. Otumfuo. Then I tell you. Adama. Afo. Berema for ekase. Adama entumira. Entuna hima mama me. Me na na mo di ka kasa ye ni na ya de. Ko ho. Le ho bon. Sa. No kwase mi. Which are all in now? Skadendra. Yeah, Peter, and Peter. Oh, yeah. I know the end. So, Papa, no be glad. No pass me. The man who said, "Say, wait. If you tell me, son, on me." Achane, Mira. My first office, my wife. I want. And I get them after about to my father. Mira, Adama, that was my papa. I was my papa. In a mere flow. Man's man, my cousin. You don't know. Bakuya, Kofira, Honka, Buffos, my barn. I'm a mobile. At the other one, I was Coco, and been to us, hey, I am me, Kofika, Betty Punen, who said, the Betchino, you shall it.
I received this letter from Her Majesty, the Queen of England. And this is the present situation back in England.
Oh, the London Bridge is falling!
Indeed. I don't like the Ashantis. The war must go on. General Wolseley, what are the preparations so far?
Governor, fire rifles. For the first time, we're going to strongly defeat and destroy the Ashanti Empire. Because the Ashantis are powerful, and 19 battles, we're training our sons and men. We're going to squinine 12 the soldiers in this season and introduce the new Russian units to give us a significant technological advantage over the Ashanti army.
Well done, General. Please follow me into the inner chamber.
It was Thursday, 7:30 a.m. as the British had already threatened the Asante Kingdom. Nana Amankwe III and some notable Asante chiefs were the Asante warriors in the thick forest at Otumfuo. The British had indeed decided to fight the Asante. After a full peace resolution led by the Asante Empire, the Asantes tried to resist the oppressor. Asante was the only kingdom that prevented the British from taking their lands. Then, out of the blue moon, Sir Gareth Wesley arrived in the Asante Empire with over 25,000 troops and thousands West Indian and African troops, including Fantes, including David. Ashantis when the British arrived. Kumasi was demolished by the British with explosives. The harm has already been caused. And it's only time can wipe off memories of this invasion. The British took away cherished treasures, including rolls of books, and as well as the headgear of Nana Kofi Kakari, except the golden stool, Mr. Asikeja. The harm has already been caused. And it is only time that can wipe out this memory. How can we forget the death of our war general, Nana Mankwetia, and some notable chiefs in the hands of the British? How can we forget the death of thousands of people and the agonies of those left behind? How can we forget the parents that rained profusely on that faithful? How can we forget the treasures that were looted away? But things change with the passage of time. Now Kumasi holds several British citizens and London houses several Asante citizens. The city Ghana sought to destroy is now the repository of Ghana's culture, and hundreds of British nationals, quite ironically, talk in it every year to see the remnants of the very thing they seek to destroy or carried away. The British brought their cannon to the bush, but the bush was stronger than the cannon. Asante was born in battle, nurtured in battle, and sustained in battle. Today, as a proud kingdom, we learn from our defeats and also celebrate our victories. And this is what will forever make the Asante kingdom powerful and mightier. Long live the king of the Asantes, His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu. Long live the kingdom of the Asante.
Naturally, this should exude an ovation. I don't have to ask for it. The Kumasi Cultural Center, let's appreciate their effort, their brilliance in reenacting this great war, this event war.
It's our prayer that the blood, sweat, tears, and toil of our heroes past shall never be in vain. We ask that their souls rest in glory. Amen.
A sounding round of applause to celebrate.
Chairman of this occasion, immediate past Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Chairman of the Planning Committee, Otumfuo Osei Tutu, Nanamo Amaikne, Nanamo Vice Chancellor of the University, Kane University, Regional Minister, Mayor of Kumasi, members of Parliament, my colleague, Minister, Energy Minister, Dr. Martin Kukwembe. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed an honor to have been asked to launch this book. Your Royal Majesty, the last time I had a one-on-one meeting with you, I went home and told my mom that I met the king of Ashanti. Then she started jubilating. Yay, me back, I say Otumfuo. So if my mom was alive today, I think if she was to see me on TV, she would say, hey, and then the Otumfuo book now na okada the day. She would have said, today my son is launching a book written by Otumfuo Osei Tutu. Very great day. For me, the MC mentioned and fighting another Sagrenti war to bring about education transformation in our nation. Maybe not exactly Sagrenti war, but what we seek to do is to ensure that we transformed the education system of this nation to ensure we transform the socio-economic institutions of our nation. This is a very fat book, even for education minister to read. So I went through some pages, and very exciting. In fact, once you start reading, you can't stop. It's filling in the gaps for us, even for those of us who have studied history. All the things that you thought you knew, you're going to find the gaps filled for you. The book is a concise autobiography of the author, Otumfuo Osei Tutu, the 14th Asantehene, overseeing an industrial research committee of 9, which included the likes of Berima Kojo Ousuansa, C.A. Osei, J.W.K. Apia, I.K. Ajima, Ohinba Boachedankwa, Achimpemi, Edward Owen, George Asafu Eje, and Chairman Bafo Agutu. The work started in 1939, unless Atan Yachimatin, another local intellectual, was later added to the research team to prepare the script between 1944 and 1946. To take a little more than half a century, the hard work and dedication of notable historians like Professor Adubuai, Professor Emmanuel Champo, and Professor Makiski, coupled with the added support of Otumfuo Osei II and Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, to discover and compile the original writings and typescripts for finally producing the history of Ashanti. Otumfuo Osei Tutu gives an account of the events preceding his birth, when a leopard appeared in Kumasi 3 days before he was born. This earned him the name Kwame Tutu. His other names were Osei Kwame, Osei Tutu, Owusu, as he was known after his baptism into the Wesleyan Methodist Church in 1911. He was called Edward Prempe Owusu. This publication of the history of Ashanti transcends this famous Ashanti saying, "The truth is now known to us all." And the first most educated Asantini, he placed much emphasis on education as the bedrock to national development and advancement. As a young adolescent, Osei Kwame came to realize that literacy and numeracy furnished by the Western education were indispensable keys to survival and future prosperity. This was before the Sustainable Development Goals Declaration by the United Nations. He was a founding member of the ACOS, the Asante Protocol Union Society, whose objects were about moral, civic, and economic improvement within an Asante nationalist framework. Otumfuo gives an account of Asante origins and connections with the biblical 12 tribes of Jacob and their subsequent migration through the Middle East to the present habitation in Asante. Readers are also given extensive details of the reigns of the previous 13 Ashanti kings, from Otumfuo Osei Tutu I to Otumfuo Osei Tutu I, and he concludes with a brief note of his reign and the restoration of the Ashanti Confederacy on 31st January 1935, when he proclaimed to Asanteman by unity the strength. There have been many writings about Ashanti history, but the history of Ashanti by Otumfuo Osei II is the most comprehensive and definitive history of the Ashanti kings, the people of Asanteman, and their dealings with their neighbors in pre-colonial Gold Coast and European colonialists. Students of literature, history, and the arts will find in the history of Ashanti a wealth of material to enrich their knowledge. It will also stimulate research to enrich this volume. This is a must read for all and sundry, and should find its way into every house, library, educational institutions, and bookstores. Otumfuo Osei Tutu consider this publication his greatest wish, and is now displayed before us. To get hold, all of us should endeavor to get hold of a copy of this book. See, as I was reading and going through pages, by a sheer act of serendipity, I opened page 81. And here it was. Story. The story reads, talks about Edua Wabin. He was a member of the Assyrian family, and he went to report to Akoseyalo Amekomini that he was of the same family as he was, and that he had removed himself from his original town to settle at Odahu. Akoseyalo accepted him warmly as a relative and lived happily with him. Eduyabua Krentri used to visit Odahu and then returned happily to Amekom. He was a medical man and possessed many efficacious medicines. He was referred to as Edua Wabin, who lived at Odahu. This was the reason that there is now a town called Eduabin. My grandparents are from Aduabe. And from there, they moved to Jackson. So today, as I was reading the book, I come to know more about why the town is called Aduabe. The pages of this book may also read something about your family, about your inheritance, about hope, about aspirations, about loyalty and commitment to a cause bigger than yourself, about patriotism, individuals who are willing to even pay the ultimate price so that their kingdom will survive. This is a book which is a must read. It teaches us many lessons as to how you even die for your kingdom, as to how you dedicate yourself to making your kingdom better than you came to find it. There are men and women who have done so many things. I saw stories of commitment, stories of promises made and promises kept, to the extent that a woman who asked that when she passes on, her name should be remembered after she had given up her son. Otumfuo then made a commitment to her, and consequently, Otumfuo and the subsequent Otumfuos named their children after this woman. Promises made, promises kept. Here is the story of a kingdom that has stood the test of time, kingdom that has contributed so much to humanity, a kingdom that we have to learn from in order to create a better world, a better nation. Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to do this nation. It is my prayer that all of us will take copies of this book. It's also my prayer that other authors of children's books will begin to take these books and write children's versions of it, so that our children will begin to know more about this great kingdom. Thank you. Thank
you. Respectfully, I'll have to invite you back to do a remedial. This is where you officially declare this historic route. Please, a round of applause for you.
Otumfuo, Royal Majesty, the King, and with your permission, I declare the book, Yrs Of Sagrenti, by Otumfuo Osei Tutu, duly launched.
Thank you.
A total of 150 books. 30 have been signed, personally signed by His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. We want those 30 to be out of here in 5 minutes. We want somebody who is touched to make us an offer. We have a few offers, but allow me to just share with you, and if you're moved to do beyond that, Otumfuo will be pleased. We acknowledge with gratitude the contribution of Dr. Nana KGC, who has given 100,000 Ghana cedis toward the symposium and the book. A round of applause for him. But if you think that is too big, then wait till you hear from Cine Construction Limited, who say, touched by this great work, they are giving 150,000 Ghana cedis. And so it's official, we have 23 left for grabs, personally signed by His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. If you are one of the 5 people who want to get this at a very good offer, I will give you a certificate. I will give you 4 tickets per person to attend Otumfuo's birthday dinner. It's a good deal. Yourself and 4 additional people. Who is making me an offer?
Otumfuo Osei Tutu awotosumi no krobia yifi asante kotoko hene mama hene ya kono dodo ohene misrew ni bi kasa enweri nananom oman asoafo mrahyebeduafo abaya kra chimpanyimfo ema ne mema amowa ha ene minianom nyina yahia ene
Otumfuo's akonfrehene Nana Akwesi Abeye.
Your Majesty, Eja Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Asante, I'm well pleased. That's a bread. Joseph body second. Another being the chairman of the planning committee. My Lord Chief Justice, I continue to call the Chief Justice because once the Chief Justice, we always the Chief Justice. My Lord Chief Justice, and in the board. Vice Chancellor, Regional Minister, Professor Tom McCaskey, Professor Chalcom, and the rest of the panel. Nanam, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me as a son of Otumfuo Osei Tutu to be given the honor to give the vote of thanks for such an auspicious occasion. But fortunately for me, the Lord Chief Justice has done my work for me by literally summing up what each one of the panelists said. So I sat down quietly and said, what then should I do? And I said, throughout the whole of this morning, not many people will go away knowing who my father Otumfuo Osei Tutu was. So the question is, who was Otumfuo Osei Tutu? Who was he? He was the 14th Asante. He was born in 1892, 4 years before his uncle, Nana Ajibanpembe I, was exiled to the Seychelles. Therefore, he could not have known or seen much of his uncle before he was exiled. But amazing. The numbers 39 and 78 form a greater part of his life. At the age of 39, he became a Asante in 1981. 39 years later, he died as a Asante at the age of 78.
Now, we are told in this book that the book started in 1939 and got completed around about 1946, which means here we are in 2024, from 1946, exactly 78 years. So 39 years before he became king, 39 years on the throne, he died. It's taking 78 years for a book that he published, that he wrote, or supervised to be published. Those of us who were privileged to be his children, and he had 21 of us, 11 male and 10 female. By the time of his death, each one of us was alive. Each one of his 21 children was alive by the time he died. Now, as I speak to you, we have become an endangered species, with only 4 male and 3 females surviving. And then also, this very university here. Okay, thank you very much. But let me finish with this. In honor of my father, I have 6 children and 16 grandchildren. I'm paying 100,000 to make sure that each of my child and grandchild has a copy of this book. Thank you.